Welcome to this week's Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and today we're coming to you from Preferred Building Systems, a division of LaValley Building Supplies. Today we'll learn how off-site construction using modular methods and panelization is a fast and preferred way to build. Karen Ebel, the New Hampshire House of Representatives serving New London and Newbury, will bring us up to speed on her work during this current session. Dena Stahlheber of the Center for the Arts will join us to invite you to their gala and bring us up to speed on what's in store for this summer. And we'll close with a look at another LaValley operation, the DiPrizion Mill, one of the largest eastern white pine facilities in New England. But first, these words from the good local businesses that help keep your YCN Yankee Chronicle on the air.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and we're coming to you from the Preferred Building Systems here in Claremont, and I'm now joined by Alex Chesnais, who is the lead design drafter. Hi, nice to meet you. And
nice to meet you.
Great to chat with you. I think one of the most interesting parts to talk to you about is this is an unusual job for females to be in the industry. And talk about your position and being a female and a young female at that too, and the joys of this job.
So my position is I help from the beginning stages to design and draw out the houses for our customers. And I join in with our project managers and salespeople in the meetings with them sometimes if they need a little bit of guidance. I'm more than happy to help guide them through, and then I help draw it to the build stage.
Amazing. And how did you get started in this industry? Is this something you thought you wanted to do? Did it kind of just happen by chance?
So I've always wanted to go into architecture, and actually that's what I originally tried to go to college for, and then I switched gears. My uncle was an architectural engineer, which is why I got my degree down in Texas. And so with his guidance, went to school for that, got my bachelor's of science, and then a few years later ended up here and very excited to help and learn more about everything that goes into it.
Amazing. And talk about the before, or there's the before of meeting with a customer to kind of go through the drawing, but then how often do you get to be part of seeing it come to life, the house come to life, which must be really exciting?
Oh yes, I've been able to go to a set, which is when the house goes to the site and gets craned onto the foundation. Only once so far, but I've only been here a couple years.
Okay.
So they're always providing opportunities to go to the sites and see more. I just don't always have the time.
Sure.
Because we're nice and busy getting everyone's dream houses built.
Yes.
I was, for lack of a better word, fangirling while I was there, because it was very fun to see how it all goes together, because it's not often you get to see houses fly.
Definitely. That's very, I know, the whole idea of that is very, very interesting. The program that you're using when you talk about drawing, is it on a computer? Do you do a lot of any hand sketches? Talk about kind of the workings of having the drawing come to life.
So here we use Revit, which is a building information modeling system, or BIM, as people using these softwares would know it better by. So we can draw it and it automatically creates 2D, 3D views. It's very user-friendly to use. I've always loved using it. And then we've recently added on using Lumion to create photorealistic renders of our buildings. So to better help the customer see what they're going to get before, we put labor and money into building it together.
Yes. And talk about being an employee here at Preferred Building Systems, the culture, being part of it. We hear all the time that there's definitely a hiring need across the board, but here in particular, there's a lot of positions and different parts of the business that you can work in. But what's your experience been working here?
I've had a lot of fun working here. Everyone is so nice and ready to help teach if there's gaps in my knowledge. Our mechanical, electrical, plumbing guy, he's always showing me what I should keep in mind when laying out outlets and such, because that's not something I learned in school.
Yeah.
So I've been learning it on the go, and it's been a lot of fun.
A lot of hands-on learning as you go, which is the best way to learn it. Wonderful.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. This is wonderful to hear about your position and see some of this work come to life, which is very interesting.
Thank you.
Check out their website, preferredbuildings.com, for more information on how they can make your dream home a reality. When we return, Karen Ebel, the new London and Newbury House representative, will give us an update on her efforts during the current session. Now, these messages from a Yankee Chronicle supporter. Please let all of our underwriters know you appreciate their involvement in making this show possible. You could be one too. Just give us a call.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner. For books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. Recently, the League of Women Voters of Sunapee and Kearsarge hosted a forum of our local New Hampshire House representatives. Over the next few weeks, we'll hear from 5 of them. Today, our guest is Karen Ebel from New London.
My name is Karen Ebel. I represent Merrimack. District 7, nowhere near the number of towns that Representative Damon represents, but with Representative Wolf, I represent Newbury and New London. I am serving in my 6th term, which is astonishing to me, but it's 12 years. This year, some of you who have known me for a while, I've been serving on the Public Works Committee, which deals with infrastructure and the capital budget. This year, I was transferred over to the Finance Committee. And the Finance Committee obviously works on the budget for the state and also works on any bills that have appropriations associated with them. The Finance Committee, for those that don't know, it's divided into 3 divisions. They're like subcommittees. Division 3 is Health and Human Services Matters. Division 2 is Education and Transportation. And Division 1, which is the division that I serve on, is what I refer to as the kitchen sink division, because we have every other agency responsibility in the state. So it's a very interesting, active, busy, huge learning curve kind of committee. And in fact, we had your bill just recently on the disability one, because we work on retirement matters. In addition to that, I serve as the Democratic leader pro tem. This is the 2nd term that I've been doing that. Prior to that, I was the Deputy Speaker of the House. I also serve on the Rules Committee, the House Facilities Committee, and I've been assigned to the Special Committee on the Efficacy of New Hampshire's COVID response, and I vice chair that. I also am the founder and the chair of the state's solid waste working group, which is a broad spectrum stakeholder commission that works on one of my favorite subjects, trash. And we have folks on there that represent landfills, municipalities, recycling concerns, and we work very closely with DOT. Most recently, we worked with them on the just issued state solid waste management plan. So a lot of the bills that I end up getting engaged with are bills that have been recommended by the solid waste working group in furtherance of the solid waste management plan. So for instance, last year I introduced a bill that would start to require large generators of food waste to either compost them or donate them or do something other than throwing the food waste into our landfills, because about a third by weight of trash that goes into our landfills is food waste, and it's really a waste. But the way we started this was that if a concern generates 1 ton or more of food waste a week, then if there's a compost facility or a donation opportunity, I mean, we rank them, they really are supposed to go to food banks first, then they're supposed to compost. So that's newly up and running. And we'll see how that goes, but you got to start somewhere, because we're trying to divert as much waste as we can from our landfills. So this year, actually from a constituent standpoint, started right here on our own Pleasant Lake. There was an interest in the town being able to reduce the speed limit seasonally to 20 miles an hour. And believe it or not, our statutes only allow a town to reduce the speed limit to 25, even though the state can go to 20. So it just passed the Senate, so it's on its way to the governor, and the town of New London can either on its own or upon citizen petition reduce the speed limit on our congested roads to 20 miles an hour. The other bill that I introduced that I really had a broad spectrum of stakeholders for was a bill that banned the disposal of lithium-ion batteries in solid waste facilities because of the unbelievable fire risk. I had the state fire marshal there, landfills, municipal association, all sorts of folks to support the bill, and that passed the House unanimously, and the committee in the Senate that was responsible for it just recommended its passage unanimously. So I feel like that's on its way. And then the other really big initiative that I'm associated with this year, again, a solid waste working group sponsored bill, is to ban the sale of a limited number of consumer products that have intentionally added PFAS. And if you're familiar with PFAS at all, you know that our drinking water utilities are having to filter out PFAS to 4 to 10 parts per trillion. That's like a cup in Lake Winnipesaukee of PFAS, and that's how challenging it is from a health standpoint. And so that's been really an interesting and difficult journey, but the House passed it 233 to 140 a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the Senate this morning. So that's sort of a summary of what I've been doing. I told you about finance. I'm in the kitchen sink division. We can talk about all sorts of things there. One of the things I like to do the most is help my constituents, and I really appreciate people asking if there's agency concerns to see if I can't help move things along. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for your work and looking out for our local interests. Next week, we'll be joined by Dan Wolf from Newbury, her district partner, for his summary of activities. The full 2 hours can be seen this Saturday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at noon and 7 p.m. anytime on demand at ycnnow.com. When we return, Dena Stahlheber of the Center for the Arts will join us with an invitation to their annual gala and more. But first, let's hear from another one of the businesses that make YCN viable.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge-Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. The Center for the Arts mission is to enrich lives by supporting, promoting, and connecting literary, performance, and visual artists of all ages to our communities. But to do this, they may have an invitation for you. Let's hear more.
Well, thanks, Abby. I'm so excited to be here today on this gorgeous spring day. We are thrilled to be talking about our arts celebration where we can raise the glass to celebrate the arts on Saturday, May 18th at 7 p.m. here at Colby Sawyer's Wheeler Hall. It's going to be a fantastic evening of not only camaraderie and time together to enjoy and celebrate the arts, but with many different elements and facets of the arts to enjoy for our guests. We're excited to be able to offer our leading feature of the evening, Will Augmundson, who many of you know is a very accomplished pianist and composer. He will be performing as well as a few other special guests that we're excited to offer up for everyone who's attending. We'll have a small gallery of local artists' work available, some raffles, and a wonderful chocolate fondue and great delectable desserts. So if you have a wonderful appetite for not only the arts and maybe some chocolate, we would love for you to join us on Saturday, May 18th at our awesome fundraising event. And also at this event, we're excited to be able to share with the community some of the great things that we've been up to. This amazing organization's been doing wonderful work for the past 14 years, and we continue to do that to allow the community and our artists to enjoy and appreciate the amazing arts and talent that we have right here in our Lake Sunapee region. Over the years, we have offered a variety of opportunities for artists of all ages, and we have really upped that ante this past year as well as this year going forward, and we hope to see a lot more. With our winter activities and our arts after school programs, we've seen babies and kindergartners as well as elementary school students partake in the wonderful creativity and arts and crafts opportunities that we've provided in partnership with so many great organizations in this community. We also offer scholarships, contests, and awards for elementary through college students. We were excited to have our first art award for a Colby Sawyer student here this year. And we are thrilled to continue to offer multiple scholarships each year for our artists in the community. We also offer a variety of ways for local artists, both emerging and accomplished, to share their work with the community. Last year, we saw artists gross over $50,000 in sales with the opportunities our organization has provided. We don't want to see any starving artists. We want to see our artists thriving. And with your help and support, the Center for the Arts can continue to do this great work that benefits not only our amazing talented individuals in this community, but everyone who lives here. We would love for you to join us and support the efforts that we're doing, but if you can't make it, we'd love to have you become a member, be a donor, or be involved and come see what we're all about. You can find out more information on our website at centerfortheartsnh.org. We'd love to see you soon.
Thank you, Dena, and to all the volunteers that make the arts come alive in our region. When we return, we'll visit the modern and up-to-date DiPrizion Mill, a division of LaValley Building Supply, one of the largest white pine operations in New England. But first, these words about another Yankee Chronicle supporter. You could be one too. Just give us a call.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. In addition to the 13 LaValley stores serving Vermont and New Hampshire and their preferred building systems, they own and operate one of the largest white pine mills in New England. Let's hear about it.
The Northeast, and the Northeast is New Hampshire as well, was at one time 75% deforested, cleared for sheep mostly, and we're 90% forested now. The majority of our logs come from planned forest harvest. The yard and the sawmill have been here probably 60 years. This is all eastern white pine with a harvest planned by professional foresters. I'd say 90% of our wood comes from these planned harvests. We take quite a bit of wood from tree companies, which is where the metal detector behind me comes in. If you can see the scale station behind me, where the logs are dropped off in the trough, and they go through a metal detector first. Most sawmills, the metal detectors are well in the sawmill after the barking. Once we deck the logs here, they brought over to the debarker. We feel we have two customers here. We have the people that are selling us their logs, and we have the sawmill that's taking the logs from us.
Once the logs are moved from the log yard into the mill with the wheel loader, they go to a Nicholson ring debarker, just installed in the last 4 months or so. So it basically peels the bark off the woods versus grinding it off. One of the things you need to have in a modern mill to keep yourself successful and reduce fiber loss. From there, we have two breakdown rigs. We have a double cut with a Clearman head rig, saws both ways. And then on the other side of the mill, we have a single circle saw, HMC saw. They break down logs into cants, and a cant is basically 6 inches by 12 inches and less. So maybe it's 6 by 12, 6 by 10. Those cants go to a Stenner resaw where we break it down into 6 boards. Sometimes the pieces will go to an edger. They need to, take the wane, the bark, the defects off the edge. From there, they're transported into an automated grading line. Used to be in a sawmill like ours, you would have a guy that would just stand and grade boards all day. 8 months or so ago, we installed a Comac Trim Expert, which grades the boards using laser, AI, 3D scanning. I like to say that Comac gets up every Monday morning, and it doesn't matter if it's the day after the Super Bowl or if it's the day after Father's Day or whatever, it's the same every day you turn it on. From there, once the boards are trimmed and graded properly, it goes to a 36 bin sort where the boards are sorted by grade, width, and length. And from there goes to a newly installed automated grade stacking line. We used to have 5-6 guys who just lay kiln sticks. Now the boards go down, and through the use of technology and great engineering, all this is done by 1 or 2 men now. Well, one, it makes very nice kiln bundles for reduction of fiber loss. So, through automation, it's great when you can eliminate the horrible jobs. From there, the lumber, which is now on kiln sticks, goes to the kiln area where it's staged, grouped by grade, length. So after 8 days in a kiln. The lumber is then taken out and moved to a planing mill. It goes into the planer, the kiln sticks are removed, it goes through a planing process, to which then maybe it's made into several different profiles that are popular in eastern white pine.
We make any pattern boards from like an edge and center bead board to a WP4, which is a V-joint, shiplaps, tons of shiplaps, all different thickness faces, like we do anything from a 7/8 natural face from a sawmill to a 13/16 bandsaw. We do what we call a rougher head, which is like a striated face. We do a clean bandsaw through our bandsaw in the planing mill, which will give you the nice clean look, gets rid of sticking marks, anything. Can take an actual smooth board and put it back rough. We're making a lot of square edge high-end boards for trim.
From the planing mill, we go to the warehouse for sales. And then throughout that process, we generate byproducts. We chips and sawdust in the green sawmill, which we utilize to burn for energy, to create steam for the drying process. We also have a 1 meg generator where we create our own electricity. That electricity is basically used for the drying process. The drying process is 100% green. We generate enough chips to create the steam pressure, and we generate enough electricity for all the fans and everything that's needed in the drying process. And in the kiln dried, we create bag shavings that we sell to our own retail stores, use it for distribution, and we sell to farmers and pet owners, anyone that wants to buy bags of shavings versus getting truckloads. So it's a very green and efficient operation. In addition to our energy production at the boiler area where we have a cogen, we also have a 5-acre solar field. We're a very green company, and we take from the forest, but we take as little as we have to, and we use every bit of wood gets used.
Wow, with this mill operation, a paint and decorating store, Preferred Building Systems, and their 13 stores, LaValley Building Supply is the largest independently owned building materials supplier in Vermont and New Hampshire that strives to be the top quality, low-cost provider of materials and services. Check out all their operations. Join us next week of this all-new edition of Your Yankee Chronicle as we return to Preferred Building Systems, where their talented and highly skilled design team can take practically any home plan or concept and convert it into an energy-efficient structure. Next week, we'll hear about more of their operation here. Dan Wolf, the New Hampshire House representative for Newbury and New London, will give us his update. Scott Byron, a local fly-tying craftsman, will show us his work. And we'll close with Marion Hafner of Chadwick Funeral Services on coming up with a plan. Tune into our replay Game of the Week this Sunday and Monday at noon and 7 p.m. This week it's boys basketball as Kearsarge hosts Guilford. Check out all scheduled programming at ystandnow.com for the most up-to-date information on games, Yankee Chronicle specials, and more. I'm Abby Peel. See you again next week at the same time for another edition of Yankee Chronicle.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.